Welcome to the Anime Research Society, or Ars Podcast for short, episode 14. Our mission is to explore the depths of anime, the good, the bad, and the absolutely insane. We'll take a look at the best and worst of the season, and some recommendations to lead you on your research journey. I'm your host, Remington, and joining us today are a panel of experts, Cole.
I leave for 1 week, and we take fighting foodons out of the dark abyss.
It deserved to come back.
What's next, Ultraman Tiga?
2019 Fighting Foodons remake. We have Lisa with us.
I still haven't recovered from the Fighting Foodons reference. I still have lots of questions for you, Remington. You weren't answering them to my satisfaction.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a Fighting Foodons expert.
I'm putting this to bed, though, because I still think each individual spaghetti needs to be its own army. But anyway, moving on.
That would be pretty scary. And we have Preston here.
Hi, I kind of got over fighting foodons, but you know what I haven't gone over?
What?
The fact that Broly's still lit.
Yo, I conducted some research in Newfoundland. I was like, yo, Newfies, you know Broly? Yeah, we know Broly lives over there. Is he lit? I guess.
Oh.
Broly's still lit, even in Newfoundland.
Newfoundland
GG, everyone.
agrees. He's lit.
Yeah.
Alright, so today we are looking at one very special anime, but two.
I don't even know which one you're referring to with
That's
that.
the fun part. Alright, so today, first we'll be looking at the first 3 episodes of Harukana Receive.
Titty beach volleyball, everyone.
There were fewer titties than I was expecting. There were a lot more butt cheeks.
Yes,
A lot more.
I did note that.
There was some crotch shots.
Yeah.
There's a lot of crotch shots.
Yeah, that's a good takeaway.
That's
That
my
is
takeaway.
That is proper research.
I couldn't help it when it was the entirety of the screen. I'm like, cool. Alright. I guess this is what we're watching this week.
So let's get into the first episode. We're introduced to Haruka Ozora, who is a girl living in the city. She's traveling to Okinawa. She is abnormally tall. I mean, by Japanese standards.
I mean, we don't really have a clear comparison to, like, height or anything. She's just the tallest member of the cast, so for all I know...
Well, no, they do compare her to, a random person at the airport. And she's, considered giant to that person.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Do you think
But
she's a
about
model?
She's about the same height as, literally everybody she's playing with.
I guess that's the point.
Anyway.
Okay.
I think
all
only...
freaks.
Yeah, I think only, giants get to play volleyball.
But your center should be short. Anyway, go on. Sorry.
Don't get into the rules of volleyball.
I used to coach volleyball. I couldn't play. Those who can't play.
Another role of
yeah,
this.
boxer,
Guys, I've done
volleyball
everything.
coach.
Gang.
Shh, I wasn't.
But yeah, so Haruka goes to Okinawa to live with her cousin Kanata, and her grandmother. While exploring the beach, Haruka comes across a girl named Narumi and another girl named Ayasa. She sees them practicing volleyball and decides she wants to play too. And Kanata just gets involved and decides to help her out. That is basically the entire episode. Everything else is just, let's look at the beach.
They jump right into that too. As soon as
Yeah.
she gets to the beach, she strips
Immediately.
right down, immediately strips down and jumps into that water. I mean, I would too, because it's the beach.
So this is...
But it was just like she had planned this out. It's like, oh, I should say hi to my grandma or my grandpa, maybe spend some time welcoming them.
Yeah.
Screw
Nah,
that, we're
just
going
beach.
to the beach.
So here's the thing I
Immediately.
find really
Heads
weird.
up.
I find this weird in all the seasons, or in all the episodes. There is, nobody in Okinawa. This
it's
place
desolate.
if they're not a volleyball player, this beach is empty.
I'm trying to think, through the remaining episodes, the amount of people in
I think I've
this
seen,
show,
4 people.
there are a total of, there's the 4 volleyball players, there's the grandma,
Yes.
there's the Emily and Claire, who were introduced to in episode 3, and I think there's some indistinct people who are silhouettes at one point.
There
but that's
is
about
one
it.
man who serves ice cream.
Yeah.
And 2 people who.
Oh,
walk
someone
by.
was fishing in the one at the end of the one episode. Someone was fishing.
So yeah, Okinawa is desolate. This is
Including the
post-apocalyptic.
grandfather who's never there.
He's fishing.
He's
Let him be.
fishing all the time. But yeah, so that first episode, it was It was alright. I don't know.
There was a lot of shots of butts,
Yeah.
a lot of shots of chests, and Haruka just seems way too like enthusiastic about stuff. Like
I kind of liked that later on, but I
But, like-
hated it originally.
Like in the first episode, it's like you are way too enthusiastic about this, like to a point that feels unrealistic.
Yeah.
How happy you are about that.
well, because it feels like she's never heard what volleyball is.
Yeah. It's like, oh no, I played volleyball in PE class, and it's like, but you're just getting way too into this right now. Like if someone had gone up to you and it's like, oh, it's like, I don't know, we're going sand skiing. She's like, yeah, sand skiing's my jam. I don't know if that's a thing, but if it is, Haruka would be down for it.
I don't know. It's just following like I don't know. It's the shoujo sports anime like formula.
Yeah.
Enthusiastic, wide-eyed, wonderful girl who moves in out of town. Check. Or boy, but in this case, it's a girl.
Yeah.
Long-lost cousin or friend that she hasn't seen in years that has changed a lot, or hasn't changed a lot. Check. Finding something they'd like to be good at and very enthusiastic about it right from the start. Check. Friend with a dark secret in her past. Check. It's finding that they can grow together in this sport. Check. Like,
Yeah.
I don't.
It's a recipe for success.
Yep. All
Can I
right.
point out the introduction of Kanata as Haruka's going through the airport, and it's like, oh, excuse me, and it's like, oh, what's wrong? Are you lost? Like, do you need your mommy? And I'm just like, well, that's cliche, but also her Kanata's reaction to it is to sadly understand, because it'd be like, honestly, I could imagine you being kind of pissed off right now.
Yeah.
I have to say though, I didn't think that was like the Kanata that's in that picture though. Like when we're introduced to
She keeps putting. You can't change from hair down to ponytail and have another character that looks exactly the same.
That's my
That's
problem.
Narumi.
That is my problem. There are a lot of flashbacks of her and Ayase.
And they look very identical.
Yeah, I feel like they do Parent Trap, like switching all the time, and I
Yeah.
can't tell who's who.
Wait for
Oh my
episode
God,
10 when
oh my
it's
God.
revealed
Because
that
it's the
Parent
eyes.
Trap was a thing.
So this is also the episode where we find out about her mom, right?
Yes.
So she goes to the shrine, and we find out her mom's dead. I thought the mom was her friend in her flashback. I didn't figure out it was a mom until later episodes.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, okay, I guess.
Yeah, it's like every character with brown or black hair is kind of just like the same character,
Yeah.
and they're just trying on different hairstyles.
yeah.
But yeah, let's move on. Episode 2. So naturally, they lose the match to Narumi and Ayase.
No, really, they're high school champions.
Yeah, it's like it's your first time ever playing volleyball, and you lost. Big surprise.
But they trained for a whole week.
Oh, no.
No. This is where
Now
they
they're
trained
for
for an
a
entire week. And they learned the ultimate cut shot.
The ultimate cut shot.
Cut the shot.
I loved it.
shot.
The cut shot it's
mean
a
cross
special
court?
technique.
A cross-court spike.
Yeah, but they get to
Okay.
say cut shot.
Okay.
And you gotta
They say a
pose.
lot of things like pokey,
Receive.
pokey.
Yeah, they say
It's a
receive
tap.
a lot, and
You just tap.
I like-
And you're only doing that so that you don't get faulted for like slapping. Because you're not allowed to slap it. You do this. See. Okay. Anyway. So
I like Pokey better though.
yeah, a pokey.
Makes it sound like an attack.
Yeah.
That's what they all sound
Yeah.
like. They all sound like
Why
they're
aren't you
attack.
doing pokies?
attack sounding like
Big,
moves
like
in
battle
the sports
attacks. Check. Yeah.
So yeah, the morning of the match, Haruka comes across Ayase and who reveals that Kanata and Narumi used to be on the same team.
What?
Yeah, and it was a big
Oh,
shock.
God,
but
that's not like that.
eventually,
Big shock.
Kanata started to suck, so she felt really bad, and she decides to
Honestly,
stop.
I kept on halfway expecting, like, she stopped playing because her mom died. Like, I
That
kept
would've
on
been a better
expecting
reason.
that
That
to
would've
come
been a
up,
better
but it's like, no, she started to suck. But then when we see her play, she doesn't suck.
Yeah.
Like, she seems okay. She seems perfectly fine. But
I think we figured we at this point is this the point where we figure out that she just didn't like the fact that she was constantly targeted because she was short.
I think so. Yes.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Like I mean that's not really. I mean I get
Well,
it.
because she went up against really tall people, and
she
it
was
intimidated
short?
her.
Well, she
Yeah.
was always used to being a power player, right?
Yeah.
It's like my smashes or spikes are the best, and
Yeah.
then
and all of a sudden she couldn't.
Yeah.
She's short. She's the setter. That's
Yeah.
it. That's her job. You're the setter. It's the most important job.
Yeah, I don't know. This to her, this is not how she plays.
This
And
bitch don't want to do pokies.
I'm sorry. I'm putting us way too ahead in this show.
But yeah, so Haruka tries to get Kanata to receive, and she does.
This is amazing.
And there was a big thing, and Narumi felt really bad because she couldn't get Kanata to smile like that, and it was sad and made a big
Or receive.
Because if you didn't guess, they might be lesbians, but they're not. That is the whole thing. All of these characters get kind of close, but I don't think any of them will.
No, it just follows. It follows the shoujo like.
Is that a thing?
Anime.
They just do that?
It's not. There's no love relationship. It's the bond that you form doing a sport.
That's their bond?
Yeah.
It feels like such a
But
different
it's
bond,
a
though.
closeness because they've suffered and struggled together, so they've formed this very close friendship. That's what it is.
Well, I did not see that.
But that's literally a formula for every shoujo sports anime.
Well, for these ones, for this one at least, it made no sense because they stopped playing and they didn't talk. So I don't know where the bond went.
That's the catalyst to start the anime. You can't have a plot without some former friends breaking apart and then coming together and struggling. The struggle.
God, I wish they broke up because her mom died. That would have made like.
That would have actually been a much
made
more.
sense.
That would have made Ayasa, I believe. I can't remember her name. It would have made her out to look like a horrible person.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but like the reason that's given is like, oh yeah, they bend away, and now I just hate you forever. It's like, okay.
Well, that's
Well,
the
she
thing.
didn't-
She was pretending. She wasn't trying to hate her. She was trying to avoid getting her into volleyball because she just didn't want to play. And
But she
didn't
just
wanna-
treats
No,
her like
but-
trash.
Well, she
Yeah.
does because she like ghosted her.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
That's
She
what we
ghosted her,
thought.
and I'm
She
like,
ghosted
that's
her.
not nice.
I mean, I'd be pissed too.
Yeah.
Like my best friend decided to like just stop talking to me. And she's
As
like,
soon as I
"What the hell?"
realized I
just
can't
like
play
your
volleyball.
relationship, you guys kind of didn't like. You both failed on like so many levels. It's like, did you ever think about talking for like what feels like 6 years, 5 years?
Yeah.
Like you guys would have said something to each other to like figure out why you left or what the reason was.
Did she? Okay, I need to solidify this timeline. Did she leave in middle school or elementary school?
Yeah.
I think it would have been middle school because
Yeah, middle school.
that's when everyone starts growing, right? So we
Yeah.
never really established that in the anime.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, whatever.
I need,
They
I
don't
need
care.
I need that timeline. Sorry, man.
Do you need
For
the
this to be
timeline?
a good shoujo,
You need the Harukana
sports
Receive
anime,
timeline.
I need my timeline. Fit it in between the boobs.
The timestamp is
The
just
timestamp.
held in between. All right, so let's move on. Third episode.
Can't wait till next week, guys. I'm punishing you.
So Haruka transfers into Aruma High School, where she meets Kanata's volleyball friends, Claire and Emily Thomas.
Literally immediately.
Yeah.
So, right, I'm just going to stop this one for a quick problem. What is wrong with this school? Why are there only 3 students?
It's a special.
Four students.
I thought-
4 students. Let's be clear.
No, I thought that, like, they were on
they
summer
all play
break or
volleyball.
something. Yeah, because they were only, like,
We
the
don't
3 of
see
them playing
anyone going
volleyball.
into class, and from the way that things look and they're structured, Haruka goes, like, registers, it's like, whatever, oh, Kanata, where are you? And she's getting dragged off by Claire.
Hold on.
Yes.
Why is she in Okinawa now?
Oh, it's because her mom had to go overseas for business.
Yeah.
You know, the standard
Oh,
classic
okay. So
reason.
She transferred in the middle of the school year because I thought she transferred
In summer.
summer.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but
because she was
Okinawa
hanging
is
out on the
a
beach every day.
tropical- Yeah, but isn't Okinawa like a
Yes.
tropical like area
Yeah.
anyway? So okay.
Yeah. But I did
That's
not think that
confusing.
school was going to be a factor, and
Yeah.
it suddenly was.
For a
And
beach volleyball anime.
yeah, and it was hard for me to even tell because the school was so empty. I figured, oh, I guess they're just going to the school for the club. They just show up there. But no, they have school days. There's just no
We
teachers
just
or
never
students.
there's no teachers, there's no
Yeah,
classes.
it's
just-
self-study every day.
Literally just to make sure that they meet the beach volleyball club, which is the majority of the school.
Yeah, and then they
2
don't.
people.
And then they don't go back.
Never go back
They
to
go
school.
back to the beach immediately, and they're never back in school.
That's class.
But yeah, so they immediately decide to have a match with these two, and we learn about the pokey spike.
Pokey.
And the pokey spike is something that Kanata refuses to do because it doesn't match her style,
It's
and
not even
she
a
is
spike.
very stubborn.
It ain't a power
It's
move.
a
Emily
tab.
is just.
Yeah, it's a tab.
I will say Emily is very angry about this.
Yeah,
Like, just goes
Emily
like
takes it
0 to
seriously.
100 in like a split
She's just like, "Why don't you
second.
pokey? And Kanata's like, I don't know.
And she apologizes for it. Like, I'm so
She
sorry. I
like
did
gets
that.
on her knees and apologizes.
And then it's like,
it
you
was
were-
a serious thing.
Like, you guys are just. You guys have problems. I think every character on this show, like the 6 main ones that we have, except for like the grandma, who we don't have the name, it's just grandma.
But
Like,
this is the
6
problem. So this is the episode where I
This
decided
is
I
the
like.
problem?
Yes, this is where I decided I liked Haruka because she's like, oh look, a pokey, and she just does it
Yeah.
because she sees somebody else do it, and Kanata realizes that she's being a big baby, and then she does it, and that's it. They both become the
I
problem.
have another issue with this, and I have a lot of issues with this. Well, it's whatever. It's not as okay. I gotta say, I had fewer issues that coming out of it than I did going into it. I gotta tell you that. But it's just, I don't understand why they have to call everything something different. Is that drives
Maybe
me
that's just
crazy?
a Japanese
Yeah, I think that
term.
might just be the Japanese term.
It might be, or they might be making, like a standard move to keep you from getting from a fault, which they don't even explain in the thing. That and
No,
okay,
she's-
when did we get a hint that this was becoming a competitive thing? Because at first it looked like they were just doing it for fun on the beach.
Really? I thought it was
No, they
competitive at
used
the
to do it
first shot.
competitively. They used to.
Yeah, but we find that later. But we never see like a move towards it until that this is a thing that they're going to start doing as like a competitive thing. Like we don't see that until like the 3rd episode, and it's a throwaway line like, "Oh, we could do these competitions.
Yeah,
Like, cool, let's
yeah.
just go play." It's just like there's no.
I figured as soon as one of them mentioned a tournament that Haruka was gonna be like, well, I guess we're going to the tournament because why not? Whatever. Where else is this plot going?
I was
Just
saying
on the beach
that-
playing a volleyball game every day.
I saying that are going to a tournament. Hey, I want to play against them again. Let's go to a tournament, Kanata.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the ending. They find out there's a tournament, and Haruka's like,
We gotta
join
sign
me.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we get a really long flashback.
Yeah.
A really long
very long
flashback
flashback.
of Kanata quitting, which we already knew happened.
Yeah, and it feels out of place in this episode.
Yeah, and I almost fell asleep during this flashback because it was so much longer than I thought it was going to be. I was like, oh, the episode must be ending here because she's getting sad. And then they were like, nope, we have to have a moment where we say, we're friends, right? And then they had another moment where they're like, we're not. And I just...
Wow, I totally missed that. I was making breakfast while I was watching that episode, and I completely missed that part entirely. I looked up and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that's where they broke up, but I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah, it was a
It
very
was a very long one.
Wow.
I stopped that scene so many times and watched an episode of Voltron in between. I was just every stop. Okay, episode.
With how long the game that they played in this episode was, they could have put those flashbacks all throughout the episode, and I would have been fine with it.
Yeah.
It would have
It
been
was
a
just
nice
so
little break.
extended, and it was just such a singular piece of time that you had to that you dedicated to this. That just became like,
Yeah.
really?
Instead, we had to watch Claire and Emily get 13 points.
Yeah.
Like, I know that they were winning. 13-1? Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
They're not winning.
Okay, so now that we're coming to the end of like this 3rd episode, 2 things I want to bring up. One about the 3rd episode, and one about like the first 3 episodes that we watched. First, 3rd episode, Emily and Claire. Claire is the overly enthusiastic one, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This also ties in with the.
Claire.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's their team.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
their
team,
team.
yeah.
Something that ties into the whole "there's only 4 students in this school" thing. Apart from the fact that we never see them attend class, that this volleyball thing is the main focus of it. Like, whatever, I get it, you're a volleyball show. I expect that to be
Yeah.
the thing. But like, come on, can you show some life elsewhere? It's that Claire just straight up in the middle of a club room, which I assume is her club room, just rips off her shirt and has like a bikini on for it. And I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure people. What?
Well, that's what you gotta remember. This is a fan service show.
This is a fan service show, but I'm just thinking, yeah, but even while watching it, I was just like, you couldn't have been like wearing a bra like a
No.
normal person? Like,
Volleyball's her life.
God.
Volleyball is life for these people.
also,
Also,
Or butts.
another side
Especially
note.
Kanata.
Yeah.
Another side note on the whole school thing is that I wasn't very clear on the status of this club because they're talking about like we're the beach volleyball section of the volleyball club.
Yeah.
But they don't actually show the volleyball club, and they make it talk like, oh, with you guys joining, we're one step closer to being an actual club. But I'm like, wait.
Was it just those two?
Is it just those two beforehand? Like, does that?
So who was playing with them before?
Yeah, and it's.
Nobody. They
They were just
watching.
absorbed.
Like, did you just play normal volleyball? Because you don't talk about normal volleyball. You just talk about beach.
Well, no, because we do see them in the flashback.
Yeah.
So they used to enter tournaments too.
Oh
and
no,
that's
in the beach.
I guess that's the
but I'm
only
just
time
more
they
talking
play.
about like the school as a whole. Like, how do you practice?
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, like
They're naturally gifted.
Also, can we talk about the mechanics of the swimsuits? I don't think you guys understand, but the bands that they have around like the bikini bottoms, those aren't thick enough to actually hold them up. And most people that play beach volleyball will actually have like a thick bikini bottom.
Yeah.
Like not these little strappy things.
Yeah, but
So that it won't come down. Also, when they were in elementary school, they were wearing like actual bikini bottoms instead of like beach volleyball uniforms, like at tournaments. Why?
because it's sexy when they're older. Nobody
But
wants
they're
to see the
kids!
lollies,
They're kids!
but not to somebody. I don't know. I don't know. Not to somebody.
Okay.
Please tell me it's not somebody at this table.
No. No.
God.
But no, that is basically all it is. This is a fan service show.
Yes.
And
The mechanics on those bathing suits don't work.
the other thing that I wanted to bring up, and this is for like what I assume is the series as a whole. I have not watched anything past the third episode.
Yeah, neither have I.
The animation quality bothers me, and how they apply both CGI and like the traditional animation in the same scene and in certain areas. Like I remember my very first thought watching this show. We're treated to a sight of a palm tree like swinging in the wind, except the palm tree is clearly CGI.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we cut to like a crowd, and the crowd is like CGI mix, like the volleyball nets kind of like that. The volleyballs are CGI, and it just doesn't blend at all.
No.
The most jarring one for me was the sand effect.
That's what I was
Yeah,
going to say. The
yeah,
beach
yeah.
itself bothers
beach
me
is
because
just-
it's very much a flat like image, and I
Yeah.
can see them running on it, and it doesn't move.
No, yeah.
It
The
just
only
does
time
not move.
when it does that CGI effect of like, oh, we did a quick
Yeah,
turn.
we
Or it's
we
like, oh, we
saved
stumbled
it.
down.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
saved. Oh man,
Yeah.
but that is the only time.
Yeah, I do not like the animation for this series.
When they're playing the game, I can turn my brain off.
When they do, like, the only time that the animation is decent is when they're not on the beach
Yeah.
and, like, they're at school or whatever, or when it's such a close-up. Like, when
Yeah.
it's a close-up of something, whether it's their butt
It's their
or,
butts.
like, their face
That's
or
what
their
you're
chest
saying.
or whatever.
This show very much applies to ideology.
Yeah.
So that is just how the show works.
Yeah, like-
it is. Look at their butts, and that is it.
Honestly, this is just pretty not that great fan service.
No.
No, well,
There's better fan service
yeah,
shows
there's way
this
better.
season.
There-
This season,
Yeah.
there's better. It just comes across as very, very poor.
Yeah.
And creepy.
Yeah.
This one just... The way it's shot is just... It's really creepy.
I mean, I've seen creepier. I've always
It's-
seen way creepier than this.
Well, good to know
but
what you do in your spare time, Remington.
I do stuff.
Wow. Like, you couldn't have phrased that any worse.
Wow.
Couldn't have phrased it any better. Some
Yeah,
would
you
say.
probably could have phrased it better. I could come up with a couple ways that you could have phrased it better.
If we're gonna deal with this
Remington,
episode,
I watch a
this is what
wide
it
variety
is.
of shows.
Get out
like,
of my house.
I've seen some pretty bad stuff. You could have said that, and it would have been better than I do stuff.
All I can
Just
say
put
is,
that on a business
all I can
card.
say is, I remember.
I do.
stuff.
Stop.
Yeah, it's Gintama. No, all I can say is I've seen Seikon no Quasar, and that's always going to be the
Yeah.
worst fan service thing I've ever seen. So nothing phases me in that sense.
Well, how about,
After seeing an anime about breastfeeding to get power, I will never be phased by an amount of
How much of
volleyball.
that anime did you actually
I watched one episode and I said, I can't do this. And that was it. As soon as,
As we are learning today, we all have our limits.
Yeah.
Our hard limits.
yeah, that was a hard no. And
was a hard no.
after that, I was like, okay, nothing can be worse than this one.
so
Alright.
I'm curious, Remington, was this the special show you were talking about at the top of
No,
the show?
no.
No.
The special show is
I was curious.
Starlight. Hold on. I want to get this one right. I want to say this name perfectly, and
Every
I probably
syllable.
won't.
though?
No,
No, you won't.
I can't honestly. It's Starlight Utena. That's basically what I'm gonna call it. Starlight Shoujo is what I've been calling it because
But it's not.
that
But what's
middle
the full
name.
name? Say
That
the
middle
full
name.
name.
I can't say it.
It's
I can see it.
Shoujo
Shoujo Renkai. Oh shoot, I forgot. I had it.
Revue.
No. I had
Shoujo
it.
Kageki
Okay.
Revue Starlight.
Yeah.
I just screwed that up in saying it. Shoujo,
Yeah, see,
Shoujo
it is so-
Kageki
it is
Revue
so-
Starlight.
No, let him say it. Let him say it.
Yeah.
Listeners need to know what this
Say it
is
again.
called.
Say it again.
Shoujo Kageki Revue Starlight.
Shoujo Kageki Revue Starlight. Saying that regularly bothers me so much. I can't do it. I don't know why.
Shoujo Kageki Revue Starlight. Shoujo
Review.
Kageki Revue Star Review.
Is it review?
As
Like
in,
review,
like
yeah.
theater, a
Review.
theater
Okay.
production.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the review is the cast critic thing after the fact.
That makes sense.
There you go. That's why.
Anyways, let's dive
Were
in.
you in theater as well?
Next episode, when we talk about diving, she's gonna be like, I fished for a king crab off the
I
Atlantic.
swam with
Scuba diver.
I swim with the sharks weekly. This is not how you do it.
We're friends, the sharks and I sing the song of their people. No, I went snorkeling once and it scared me.
And now she's a teacher.
But no, Starlight Kageki Revue Starlight. This anime is special to me. Because let me just go into a little
It's
an almost
alright.
mini rant. There are three types of fan service to me. I've categorized them
Okay.
as
Wow.
cool fan service.
Remington's theory of fan
Yes,
service.
my theory of fan service. There's cool fan service where you get stuff just like regular crossovers. You get Goku fighting Luffy and Type Moon characters putting on a comedy skit. That's
Okay.
cool. It's fun. I like
Okay.
it. Then there's the fan service I like less, which is just ecchi stuff. Just boobs. That is it. That's all they brought to the table. And then there's the fan service that I don't like, and that's pretty much like 50% of what Lisa wants to watch all the time, and that's just shipping fan service. Where it's just, look at all these characters, look at how they interact, and they love each other, right?
Did you just
They get along
seriously
so
I'm
well.
rank
sorry?
Ecchi over shipping anime?
Yes, because ecchi,
Wow.
when I was 15, I could get something out of ecchi. I get nothing out of this.
Okay,
You know
but
what this is?
hold up.
You're not
What you're
15
saying...
anymore. Wow, Remington, there was a big revelation about your choices, your life choices today.
I just want to point out that what you do not like people being happy and interacting with
But
each other.
no. See, that's the thing. So, ecchi is buying fireworks and not using them. That's fine. Whatever. It's stupid. Don't do it. But whatever.
Wait, what?
Shipping fan service
Let him
is
finish.
going and window shopping at fireworks and saying, "Man, would be great if I could buy these." but
hold-
they never do anything.
up, but
Nothing
like-
will ever happen. Nobody will
but
ever
like-
bite the bullet and kiss. Nobody will ever bite the bullet and say, "I like you." That's just it. They're
But
just
you
gonna
just
look at each
said-
other, and it's kind of implied.
But you just said that
That bothers me.
You said for cool, Type Moon characters interacting and talking to each other
That's comedy
is cool.
skits.
Or whatever. But it's
Yeah.
like, there are entire shows dedicated to that, and I like it because it is like people interacting and being nice to each other. That's what I view it as.
Yeah, but those aren't characters that I know from other
there's
series.
literally nothing to get out of ecchi.
Exactly, which is why I can just shrug it off
So
and
it's
leave.
neutral.
Yeah,
What?
it's neutral.
Okay.
It's very
so
neutral.
you'd rather watch something you can get nothing out of as opposed
No,
to
see, that's the
something-
thing. Don't mix it up. I would not watch it. I would not watch either of
But
these.
you literally outlined that ecchi in your mind is ranked higher than something where there's like shipping involved.
Yes, no. Don't mix it up with romance. A romance anime, I'm good with. Like, My Love Story, I liked it because
Give
I
an
know
example of a show
Yeah,
that
I'm
fits the
not
third
following
category.
it.
Senran Kagura. Senran Kagura has both fan service of, like, boobs, obviously, and it has these girls liking each other. Hibari and whatever her name is, Yagyu, I don't know. These two are clearly in love with each other. One says it all the time in private, but that will never happen. They will never get together because that would ruin whatever sanctity of the show that they try to uphold. That bothers me. It's annoying.
So
I
it's
don't
in the
like it.
show. It's not just like people online saying, "Oh, I ship these two characters."
Yeah, no, it's so those people online can say I ship these two characters, but they'll never actually get together. It'll never be a canon thing. That just annoys me. It's frustrating. I don't like it.
Anyways,
Okay,
how does
whatever.
this have to do with Starlight?
Yeah.
Because Starlight is that, but I don't hate it at all.
Okay, so you just...
That is what it is. So, like, remember Uma Musume? That was the same thing, but I don't like it. That one didn't appeal to me at all. But this one
I'm
did.
sorry, were we supposed to ship people in Uma Musume? Because I don't remember that ever
Yeah,
happening.
no, I don't remember that.
I can guarantee you it
Remington
happened.
watches anime much differently than the rest
I
of
can
us do.
guarantee you people are shipping Uma Musume.
Yeah.
I'm not...
Well, I mean, people ship
People
them,
ship-
but they don't ship them in the show.
I feel
That's
they
the
do.
point.
I feel there is one.
That's the thing. They want you to. The show
But how
wants
is that
you to.
different from anything?
That's literally any show.
No,
Also,
it
I'd like
is
to
not.
also point out that, like, Starlight is not an example of that.
Yes, it is. Have you-
But there are characters in that who are, like, actually going out with each other.
They're not, though. They're not dating.
Yeah, they are.
When do they state this?
Well, you're not thinking of the same characters I'm thinking of, for one thing.
Who are you thinking of?
I can't remember their names off the top of my head, but blue
Is
hair
it-
and pink hair are, like, actually going out.
No.
You mean Dopey and
No,
Redhead?
they're not dating.
Yeah.
They're not dating.
They're not dating.
I'm
They're
pretty
not
sure they're
dating.
dating.
They are not dating.
They might be, but they never say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they never say it.
Well, that's the
It's
thing. They
pretty
won't-
clear that they are.
This is my problem. But they're not. If you were to go and ask the creators right now, they'd be like, no.
Yeah, because it's unclear if they're even
Did
roommates.
you ask them?
Yes.
Okay.
I can touch the CC.
Okay, I think right now we're just like
Yeah,
we haven't even described the
Let's-
show.
Yeah, no,
we're just
okay.
Start
doing
with the
about
show. Let's just establish that Remington watches anime in a very, very weird way.
It is
and
not.
Keep going. Keep going.
All right, so Starlight Kageki reviews.
Starlight.
it. Shoujo Kageki Revue
Shoujo-
Starlight.
Shoujo. It's
Shows
a-
everybody together. 1, 2, 3.
Shoujo Kageki Revue Starlight.
Okay.
You guys got me flustered.
He's giving the vapors.
You guys give me the vapors with all this hot talk.
Oh my god, I'm leaving.
No, but it's about Karen and her classmates who go to a art-focused school, primarily on theater.
Yeah.
It's a theater
And-
school.
Yeah, but it's like on campus. It's a whole big thing.
It's a typical
Yeah.
art school.
Yeah.
This is what those look like.
Yeah.
For the most part. They even have, like, identified that they do actually go to attend classes.
Yeah. So Karen loves this play called Starlight. It's her favorite one, and she really wants to be a part of it. And but she's kind of lazy. She sleeps a lot. She doesn't pay too much attention. She's kind of the typical dumb girl. And that's just how it is until her childhood friend Hikari comes back from England, and they remember this promise that they had, that they would both be in Starlight. They'd both be top performers. And but she's all cold. Hikari's completely different from the childhood friend that she knew. And one day she mysteriously disappears, and following her, Karen finds her in this underground theater where they take place in these dramatic, battle-looking plays that are considered auditions, and they are run by a giraffe.
Yeah. Giraffe is best character of the season. I'm gonna name it.
Definitely. Yeah. I don't even think we have to have a competition at the end of the season. Giraffe wins.
Every category,
Every category.
including the worst ones.
Best and worst character of all time.
True.
But yeah, so Karen, seeing Hikari in this battle, she interrupts it, and instead of getting immediately kicked out, she's welcomed into these auditions. That is the first episode.
That's all I watched.
That's all you watched?
That's all I got a chance to watch because you decided to change it last second. I'm calling you out on the podcast.
This is always trying to make me look bad.
I agree with her. I would have climbed the shit out of that giraffe too. That was the best. That was my takeaway from that episode.
Now, this show, I knew nothing about it going in.
Yes.
Cole and I were talking about this before the podcast started. We both knew nothing about it going in. And I was ready to think it's like, oh, it's probably like an Idol type show.
Exactly.
Like Cinderella Girls or Idol Master or something like that. And the first half, like 2/3 really, of the first episode.
It's by the book. That.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
by the book
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Completely.
And then the last third is just this surreal, like, yeah, it's surreal. Like, there's an actual location of the school that extends like hundreds of meters below ground that's run by a
There's
talking
an
giraffe
elevator that takes them there.
where they
It's-
fight with weapons.
But more than just the elevator cut, it cuts out a part of the room. Like, I
Yeah.
turned my head away for 1 second, and then I turned back and like, why is it breaking like that? Whoop, and she just goes down.
Yeah, it's... Man.
Yeah, it is very bizarre.
This is a bizarre show, and I'm kind of into it.
I love it.
This feels like Star Driver to me.
Funny you say that, because it's the same person.
Is it? Okay, then yeah, that's both. Yeah, the battles now make complete sense.
I did some research and found out that this is like now a media franchise that began last year as a stage play in Tokyo. Like ran for 3 days, I believe it.
really?
Yep.
Yeah, it began as a stage play,
And it has the same voice actors,
Yeah,
which
same.
is really cool.
well, same actors, I would say.
Well, yeah, they do
actors.
the voices.
They do the
yeah.
live action and they do the voices.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be another play sometime later this year in October, I believe.
Huh.
Now, this is the one show where I feel like not speaking native Japanese kind of takes a bit away from it, because the songs that they're singing have to do with the story.
Yeah.
And if you're watching it subtitled, most subs, from what I've seen, do not have.
The subs that I watched did have
I
the
watched
stuff
it.
recorded.
They had the subs in Japanese.
That happened for the first episode, but then I watched the second and third episode, and like the songs that they were singing, like they had like dueling parts that were color coded to be in.
I'm envious.
Because this is only like fan subs right now. Like we can't find it on like an official site.
Well, Sentai Filmworks has it on
Sentai-
High Dive, which is not the greatest.
Yeah, and I bet they don't sub the songs.
Of course not.
No. Yeah.
Much effort.
Yeah, but that's my only gripe about it. Just we're missing that small part of it. But other than that, I love this first episode. I thought it was really unique.
I'm not sure it needed that last
Yeah.
Thursday.
Oh, definitely. I
It
would have
needed
hated it otherwise.
If it, yeah, and that's my just as a prelude to when we talk about episode 2 and 3. Like, yeah, I still like even with it, like the stuff that happens where they're not like talking about like the review or being the top star, like when they're just hanging out wherever. It's painfully generic and there's little characterization.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for Hikari. She has the worst weapon. It's a knife.
Yeah, she's doing well with the knife though.
It's true.
Considering
But that ain't much range.
the animation for the battles are actually really well done.
Very well done. Yeah.
Very well. Like, a series like this has no reason having a budget this high.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
Because even shots before that,
But-
when she finds out that Hikari's coming back, and they show like this cog wheel, and it turns into a cog at like Tokyo Tower,
Yeah.
and she's standing there, and it looks really nice. It's really really well shot.
I will give it. It's very well animated.
Yeah.
Especially the giraffe. The giraffe is extremely well animated.
Also, he has a great voice.
mostly-
He has a great
It
voice.
was just like best voice, great voice acting. 10 out of 10 giraffe.
All right, let's move on to the second episode. So on the second day of the search, continuing those auditions, the girls start to accuse Karen of interfering with all their progress, all their auditions, just not taking things very seriously. And this is especially true for a girl named Toshimi, who ends up fighting her in the next audition.
Yeah.
And when she loses, she kind of realizes that she's been going about like auditions the whole way. She's been going wrong, like with it, just taking things so seriously that she's hurting herself and putting herself like in the like psych emergency ward, stuff like that. It's sad. It's actually a sad episode.
What the hell happened in this episode?
Well, see, this is the episode where I really started to like the show, because I realized what the auditions were about, and this kind of speaks to the whole series and why I like it. I don't know if maybe I'm reading too deep into the series, but it kind of just feels like it's like they all just want to stand out in life for something. They're all just trying to stand out, and they're all just wanting to be the best. And doing that, it's like when you fail, even if it's not something so serious to Karen, it's something serious to Shimi.
It's set around theater and like even musical theater, and it's a very competitive thing where like most of the people who go into it are not going to see like a great deal of success from it.
Yeah.
They are at an academy that is like built towards that, so they've got like a leg up on a lot of people, but
They still have to fight for like the lead part.
like
and stuff.
the fight over the 3 episodes is who can be the top star, and Maya's at the top right now.
Yeah.
And in this episode, it deals with like you try as hard as you can and you can't reach that level. And what was her name again? Glasses?
Hoshimi?
Yeah, she refuses to accept Karen's point of view that we could all be the top star, even though Karen's a bit naive in this front.
Yeah.
But Hashimi is also way too deep into if you fail, you lose forever.
Yeah.
And that's what Karen manages to change her mind in the fight.
Yeah.
The fight's still weird to me, man.
I love it though. It's so cool.
It's just it's surreal and bizarre as all hell.
The way I take it is it's just representing their clashing ideals. The fights don't actually mean anything. It's just, this is my point of view, this is your point of view. They're different, and the winner has the stronger point.
And it always
That's
is
basically
represented.
But it's an audition, so I was taking it as like I'm competing directly against this person for a specific part, and the adjudicator is the giraffe.
Well, no, that's the thing, because even after that audition, Hoshimi gets to continue doing them. Which I'm guessing is just saying, even though you fail once, you can still try again with life. Just things in life, you can always try again. And that's what it was supposed to represent for her. Because she didn't think she would get another shot, and Giraffe's like, hey, yes you can.
Yeah, thank you, Giraffe.
Giraffe is so wise.
Yeah, I would also like to say this is a good time to talk about Hikari and Karen's relationship, where Hikari really doesn't want Karen to like take part in the auditions, but it's never explained why.
Yeah, I have ideas as to why, but I don't.
Yeah, like there's probably gonna be a thing later on, but
Yeah.
I'm just
It's probably there can only be one scenario.
no, there can
No,
only.
no, that's not what it is though. I know that's not what it is, because she kind of changes her mind about that already. Like I've watched one episode ahead, and that's already sort of
It's
changing.
just
Okay.
So I don't know what it is exactly.
this entire
I'm
scenario
worried that we're gonna
is
find
like,
out that they're all gonna die. And
I'm really hoping if you go ahead and tell me that that's a thing that's going to happen, if this turns into a general magical girl, like modern magical girl story, I'm in.
yeah, like what I want. What was frustrating me these first 3 episodes is that I'm just like, Hikari, just talk to Karen and this will be okay.
yeah.
That's it. Just talk to each other. Literally all your problems will be solved if you just like get in each other's faces and like talk for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Seriously.
But a quick note for the ending of episode 2, we see another battle where just the cliff end of it, where Tendo defeats a girl named Claudine. And those two are considered the best in the school. So
You mean Maya?
Maya Tendo, yeah. So she ends up winning, defining her as the very best.
Can I just point out about Maya for a brief moment? Is that when she wins, she talks in
She
English.
Says, this is Maya
This
Tendo.
is no. She doesn't
just
say
Tendo,
that.
just Tendo.
She says this is Tendo Maya because
Yeah.
even though she's speaking English, she doesn't do the English version of like flipping the name around. So she's still using the Japanese naming scheme despite speaking English, and it's just like
I love it because she does it every time.
it's the silliest
And
thing.
it's her epic thing.
I would
Everyone's got
love
their
it more,
pose.
but
Yeah.
every time I'm
Position
bothered
zero.
by like just use the English
Position
naming
zero.
scheme. Just use the English naming scheme.
All right, so the third episode starts with Nana taking a role behind the scenes while Futaba notices that Claudine is bothered by what we know is her loss. Hikari at the same time is continuing to keep Karen away without telling her anything.
Locking her in a
Locks
shed.
her up in a shed. Which Karen very easily gets away from it. I don't know how she
yeah.
did it. She climbed out the window and I was like, how? Like, is she an escape artist?
Also, I'm thinking like, wait, like. So you should contact the school about this.
Yeah.
This is very
This
illegal.
is a big problem, yeah.
Well, I would contact them about, hey, there's a giraffe downstairs holding these auditions.
But she tries to keep her away from the auditions, but Karen gets there anyway, and she ends up going up against Maya Tendo and is completely defeated. Just doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah.
Karen tells Hikari after, resulting in a slap. And that's it.
Powerful.
I love the fight, though.
Yeah, the fight was great.
That was an amazing fight. Because the stairs were really good, just showing the clear difference.
I love the stages in general because it is like their thoughts made manifest.
Yeah.
Like with June's, it was like the mannequins and you see the mirrors and like how she's reflecting upon herself.
Yeah.
And then with Maya, it's just staircases because she only sees the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's soulless because of that, but that's why she's great for these auditions.
Now, the reason why I love this series so much, and it clicked with me when I first saw the transformation for the first episode, is that this is 2018 Revolutionary Girl Utena.
Okay.
It's the director of Utena worked with this guy, the director of this series, and you can see the influence, how it clearly rubbed off on him. It's almost the same kind of transformation. It's the same idea of just battling it out to show your ideals, and the fights are sort of just like a metaphor for everything. It's very similar. I still think Utena is a bit better because it's way broader over like the themes and the motives. This is very much, we just want to...
Do we know how long the series is? 13 episodes? 12 episodes?
12 episodes, I think. So
I'm interested. I'm interested to keep watching this.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to keep watching.
Yeah.
I'll probably keep watching it. Only for the draft, really.
Only for the... I actually like...
Just get a YouTube comp.
most of the characters that we've spent time with, I actually do like. And I didn't think I would, because I didn't even think I'd learn their names.
Yeah.
I figured I never do when it comes to these big idol shows, because there's a bunch of names, and they're always introduced with like the roll call of just showing their name once, and I never remember them. So I figured I wouldn't know anyone but Karen. But no, I like these characters.
It's a show.
Yeah, and it's as I thought during the first episode, it's turning into a mobile game.
Of course it is.
I thought the same thing. I searched up. I couldn't find that info, but you're telling me it is.
Bushi Road. The creators
Card Fight
of
Vanguard.
Wow.
the creators of Love Live, like that mobile game, Band Party Dream. They do all these mobile games, and they make animes for all of them. This time they made the anime first, which I find different.
Okay.
And I think there was a manga that came out even before that, so they're trying something. I guess they're trying to add more of a story this time.
Okay.
It's interesting. I don't know.
Interesting. All right. Yeah.
But I really like this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I will give it more of a shot when I have, can actually sit down and watch
Yeah.
it. Don't find out 10 minutes before we're going on podcast.
It was not 10 minutes before.
10 minutes before.
It was not 10 minutes before.
2.5 minutes before.
It was a full day. I'm gonna
It was not a full day.
I'm gonna
full day.
I'm gonna expose Lisa.
It
She went
was
out drinking.
approximately
She went out
19
drinking and did not watch anime. She's a
It was
fraud.
19 hours ago.
We were supposed to
19
be
hours ago.
researching.
I watched the 2 we were supposed to watch, just so you know.
Yeah, we were
Just
originally
so-
supposed to watch Hanabado.
Don't you talk to
We'll
me
get back to
about-
Hanabado at some point this season,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have that many options.
No.
As a matter of fact, guys, because next week's my week, I think we will get back to Hanabado.
Yeah.
Because we all watched it, and I have things to say,
Yeah.
and I know Preston has things to say about it. But you know what else we're gonna watch, guys?
No.
We're gonna watch Free Dive to the Future.
That's.
Yes!
So I watched one season of Free. I regret
Really?
that. Yeah. And there's been how many besides this one? Is this the
This is
fourth?
the third.
This third.
Well,
Yeah, there's some OVAs, but we
I-
don't have to watch the OVAs.
I have watched
that
one
DLC.
episode of Free, and I thought
Too
the
bad.
water's not
I
as nice as
remember-
that one
I-
I
trailer.
had to watch Hakuna what was it? Receive?
Harukana Receive.
Tidball. You guys get to watch
I saw a billboard advertising Free Season 3 in Tokyo last November. So that's
You
the
never
closest
sent me a
I've.
picture.
So that's the closest. I could send you a photo right now if you
That'd
want.
be great. Yeah, send it
Yeah.
to me, please.
Like, okay. I'll
Alright,
send it to you.
second
Frame it and put it on my ceiling.
But for now, before I do that,
I kid.
Remington, you have a recommendation.
Yes, I do. I'm going to recommend Revolutionary Girl Utena for anyone who has not watched it.
I have not
Good
watched
choice.
it.
Yeah,
Good choice.
you
It's-
have not watched it?
No, is it like Starlight?
Oh, this is like... So a lot of people always say that Madoka is like the series that changed how magical girls were. No, it was this. Utena is very, very different. It's about this girl who wants to be a prince. She's dreamed of that her whole life. And she goes to this high school that it seems... Like, everything about it seems strange. There's just this weird atmosphere. There's like these giant pillars and staircases that swirl forever. It all feels very weird. But the strangest part is that, like, at a random part during the day, this bell goes off and they have to attend this arena and battle. And they battle for this girl who's considered the princess, basically, of their high school. It is strange, but it is a very deep anime. There are so many different messages going on at once, and you can miss almost all of them. Which is scary, because I've watched it 3 times, and I know that there's still a ton that I've missed. And you can just keep rewatching it. And they made a movie which is almost the same, but it has the most bizarre ending I've ever seen. It is... a character turns into a motorcycle.
Oh, hell yeah! Now we talking.
It becomes the weirdest. I was like, this is not what I watched. I don't know what
I'm
happened.
kind of down for that character.
Oh, yeah,
turning into
definitely.
motorcycles.
But watch it after you watch the anime.
I will.
Harley Davidson magical girls.
But yeah, it's very good.
More of a Kawasaki magical girls.
It feels like the Eva of magical girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So the budget's gonna run out in the last few episodes.
It may.
How much symbolism out of 10?
How many repeated
gonna
animations
clap?
do you like?
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, no, you'll tell that they got around the budget by reusing certain scenes.
Okay.
But yeah,
choice.
that is my recommendation.
That's a really good choice. You know what time it is, guys? Since this is a Remington episode, we're gonna hear from Remington's Shonen Heart.
Remington's Shonen Heart is brought to you straight from the depths of his shonen soul, reminding us all of the springtime of youth. A time in all of our lives, showing us all how to break our limits and truly find our own hearts.
Those who do not understand true pain can never understand true peace. Nagato, Naruto.
This has been another touching episode of Remington's Shonen Heart, brought to you straight from the depths of his shonen soul, reminding us all of the springtime of youth, a time in all of our lives, showing us all how to break our own limits and truly find our own hearts.
Thanks for listening. Tune into Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, CG Magazine, or your favorite podcast app to listen in on the continuing adventure of the Anime Research Society. Have a question or a comment for the Society? Tweet at us at _R_Society. Or find us all on Twitter at Cole,
At Kaiser_Watson.
Preston,
At Preston Doza, spelled D-O-Z-S-A.
Lisa,
At Lisa Awesome with no E's.
and I'm at Remington Joseph. Like the Anime Research Society on Facebook and leave us a comment. What should we research next? From everyone here at the Anime Research Society, happy researching.